and see it is the result. I want to show you what is the point. First of all, the radius equal 20, right? Do you see? Here, the string, I do not provide any space here, but we can see as a result. We can see as a result here, there is a spaces. Why? Because I use the comma during the print. So it will become a space here. Radius is a fixed value, but it's a changeable variable. So I do not use the double quotation. If I use the double quotation, it will print not 20, it will print radius here. And also, comma represent just like a space. Is fixed string, and then the result. And we can see because I use the 20, so actually the final result will equal 1,256.0. You must feel, oh, it's weird. Why it will have 0.0? The reason is when we give the variable code 20, right? So when 20 multiple 20 will become 400 without the 0.0. But the Python default is when your formula have something is floating number. What is a floating number? Floating number means your number have a point. Yeah, it's we call floating number. So when your formula, one of them have a floating number, then the result will become floating number. And if you want to make it is without floating number, you can change and do something for the area here. So we can use the function we call int, and we use parentheses here, make sure the result will become the integer. Int is for integer. So int is for integer. For integer, okay? So int is the meaning here. Then we will see the 0.0 will disappear. So we'll do it again. Execute it. So you can see now this time without the 0.0 here, right? Because we use the integer. So this is the function. We call that integer. We will change that all the value only just, present the integer parts. Okay, this part here we just show you because the 20 is fixed value. But now I will, invite you to do something different because we want it changeable. For example, we want it could be input by the user. So we use the input here. When it becomes purple color, it means it's a special word. It has special meaning, special function, just like a print, just like int is special. So you can use those kind of words as your variable name. Okay, input here just means he will do not have the fixed value. He will waiting for the user to input it, this part. For example, now it seems nothing happened here, but we type 10. Oh, he will have something arrow. What is the arrow? He told me we can multiple sequence by non-int of type string. What does it mean? It means when we input 10 here, and when the Python want to calculate the area, the radius multiple the pi, but the string, you remember the data type. String is not a integer or floating, which is numeric value. So it can be calculated. So we have to change that or transfer that or convert it into variable. So we will type eval here and use parentheses here. So then now we will see the result again. We input 10 and finally we can get the result the same. So as we can see, when you use the input, it will default you input a string. if the string have to be calculated, it will have to convert into numeric or numbers. So you can use the EVAL, okay? VAL means value, okay? Value means transfer it as a value. And we use the parentheses, including it. And sometimes we want to introduce and let the users know, because when we execute the program, nothing default, nothing, just hint, tell me what the user have to do. So sometimes we want it have a hint. So we can do some descriptions here, and because this is a description, so it must be string, it must double quotation here. So we can tell the user, please input your radius equal. Okay. And of course, we can give that spaces because it's just not like common. Sometimes users or students will use the common here, pretend it will give the common here. It will have problem because in the input, it only accepts this description. So it have to be string. So we cannot use the common because the print input is not the print. So we can use it. If we really want the spaces, we just type a spaces for the user. And then we educate it again. Please input your radius 20. So the result is the area of radius 20 is 1,256 without the 0. So I hope this part you can know how to use the variable and to assign a value, and then to know what is the floating number and use the int to convert it, and also understand the print function. Sometimes the string, we will use the double quotation, and the command in the print can be a spaces. And then we can design how it perform like. In this formula, we want you to understand, to learn first, when we use the print, the string part is fixed. Common part could be space, and the variable part, you can change it. And we can see, if you want the floating number become without the floating part, you can use the integer function, just like int. When you have to change the fixed number and invite the user to input what they want, you can use the input. But when you input something, the default is string, so you can use the EVAL function, transfer it. And remember, if you want to remind the user what do they do, you can use the hint here, just a description, please do something. But in the input here, you cannot use any command or variable because it have to be fixed as a string. Okay, it's your time. So please practice it now. We will leave some time for you.